Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us and thank you for being patient. I see a lot of new faces, so really cool. So it'll be first times here for a lot of people. So you've seen the ad. You kind of know what we're all about here. We're just going to do a quick 5-10 minute intro, go through a couple just some bookkeeping stuff for you before we get going, and we'll jump straight into the good stuff straight after that. So go to the next slide for me, Paul. 3 things I'd love for you guys to do just for the next hour and a half is try and really lock in the next 60 minutes and remove as many distractions as possible. I know a lot of us have kids and things like that. Completely understandable. Paul has 2 little ones that you'll probably see some point tonight himself. But yeah, just try and make sure we're concentrated so you get the most out of the next 60 minutes. If you can, turn on your webcam. I see a lot of faces here already, which is awesome. I know some of you can't, no problem. It's just nice for us to be able to see faces when we do a little bit of interaction. And lastly, like we've already said, there is the chat function at the bottom. So this is an interactive workshop. We do a lot of feedback. Sometimes it's going to be yes or no questions, but please, if you can, use that chat function at the bottom when we ask questions, so then we can move on with the next slide. So if everyone, if that made sense to everyone, just leave a yes in the chat and we'll keep going. If not, let me know as well, and we'll try to explain to Dale. Yes. Anthony, Corinne. Yep. Awesome. All right. Perfect. Thank you very much. Lastly, I think we just linked that the Facebook group as well, just to help us out, guys. It helps with the algorithm. If you can just type #ecom or honestly anything on our stream post in the Facebook group, we give away free courses every week for people who help us out with this. So just leave a comment in the group. If you're not in the group at the moment, we've also left a link there. Just join it now, and one of us in the background will let you in throughout the workshop. So if you can, that'd be awesome, guys. Let's move on. So there's a couple goals for today's session. So some stuff that I want everyone to be able to walk away with by the end of this. And the first thing is going to be for you guys to understand how to convert more browsers into buyers. Conversion rate is a massive thing in the e-com game. And basically, this is just how many people that land on our website that actually become customers. And the higher your conversion rate, the more revenue, the more profitable you're going to be. So that's one of the goals, show you how to do that. Second thing is going to be how to nail paid ads. So a lot of people who are already running businesses have probably already tried to run some meta ads or Google ads themselves, or maybe you've engaged some professionals, quote unquote professionals out there to run ads for you. And maybe that you've seen varying results, maybe not so great. Our job today is going to be to show you what you need to do to start seeing better results with your ads, whether it's done by yourself or if you work with someone else. And lastly is a pathway to profit. We're just going to break down in a simple 90, 180, 270, 360 day plan for some of you on exactly what to tackle over the next, that time frame to see growth in your business, so we can really lay it out and make it very clear for what it is that you have to work on. Go next. So typically when we talk about this workshop to people, they have one big question, and it's going to be, will this stuff actually work for me? And usually it goes down to 3 sub questions. First one is it going to work in my niche? So everything that we're going to show you today, we are doing this with, I don't know how many niches at this point, but there's not one niche we're not really working with that isn't in the taboo section. So as long as you're not selling cigarettes or, I don't know, anything weird, this will work for you. It's proven every day. We do it amongst, gosh, I can't think of all the niches, but any niche, it's fine. Lots. Second is, will it work at my size? And completely fair question, guys, but just so you know, it's the foundations of what we teach to people who've just started. It's the same stuff that we help implement for people who are already doing, say, 50 to 100K per month. It's just implemented at a different level. So whether you're just starting or if you're someone who's already doing 100K per month, yes, what we're about to go through is going to be effective for you. And lastly, will it work now? So no, these strategies are not old strategies from 2017 that used to work that, we're trying to peddle to you. This is stuff that we're doing at the moment for a lot of businesses. So everything we show you is going to be very relevant to right now in 2025. That's going to be updated to 2025. And who is this for? So the kind of people we want to help the most, because really, realistically, this stuff can help people who aren't this, but we don't really want to help those people. The people we want to help are those who are passionate about the business, about the products they sell, about the effect that they want to have in the world with their business. So that means we're not into helping people sell crap that's going to end up in the bin in 2 weeks. We're into helping people build real brands that can create awesome lifestyles for yourself and the people who you sell products to. So if that's you, this is perfect. if you're feeling overwhelmed, this is also for you. A lot of us get into e-commerce thinking, well, probably understanding there's going to be a lot of challenges, but until we really get into it, we don't realize how many things there are that we have to look after to run a successful e-com business. It can feel like juggling plates, and that's something we're going to tackle today, how to overcome that overwhelm by game planning every single move that you make. Lastly is, we're all in this, obviously, to make money. This is what business is about. And, you know, a lot of the time people are paying the ATO, their employees, your manufacturers, your ad agencies way more than you're getting paid, which isn't the goal, right? So our biggest goal here is to help you walk away with a business that is going to be making you more money. Go ahead, Paul.
Yep. Cool. We're going to do this one. All right, no worries. So, heads up, my voice is pretty dead, but we'll see how we go. So, there's everything that I teach on these workshops is stuff that I've used for a very long time. And everything that I teach is stuff that I've actually practically used myself, and I'm using at the moment with hundreds of clients. I built Warcom, which was one of the first e-com stores actually in Australia. I sold about 40 million bucks worth of products. And then I sold that business in 2014. I now run Insightful, which is an e-commerce agency, and we make about 100 Shopify sites a year. And I run the e-commerce circle community that I co-founded with Chris, where we're coaching about 100 and there's 140 people or something in there at the moment. So 6, 7, and 8-figure brands. So, you know, I've worked, yeah, like I said already, I've worked with heaps and heaps of brands. I've hired really, really exceptionally good talent. You know, I've worked with agencies, freelancers, and so far pretty much sold everything you can probably imagine, and I'll help other people sell everything you can imagine. And now it's, you know, recently over the last few years, obviously, you know, I run the agency and I run the coaching community. So I do so because, you know, as a dad of 2 boys, and I work with a lot of other parents as well, it's really important to me that I help, you know, people just like me build amazing e-com brands. Like Chris said, they make money first and foremost, and you're the most highly paid person in that team as opposed to the ATO. And it's also important to me that I work with brands that also, like Chris said, you sell good products. Like I'm raising these 2 little boys to live in a world that's not full of rubbish. So, you know, we work with really exceptionally good brands, and that's something that we're all really passionate about inside of the circle. I've already mentioned this as well. I've been doing this. Oh, I feel old when I do this. I think I started when I was like 16. So I'm 44 now. All I've done is e-commerce basically. So, and the stuff that I teach now is just what's called like refined versions of what I've been doing for a very long time. Work back then, it works now. It just works much better now because, you know, clearly we've got things like ads, different types of ad strategies and so forth that you can do. So, now, just quickly, so this is one of the awesome brands that we work with, Chris and Sarah. So I met Chris and Sarah probably 18 months ago. They came to us and they'd actually purchased the business, and they had a website, and they're doing certain number, you know, certain amount of revenue every month. We've now worked with them for 18 months. They've recently, I'd say 3 months ago, moved to a much bigger facility down in Quick Collective in Moorabbin. Their revenue's through the roof. We've helped them build an amazing team, and big shout out to Chris and Sarah for actually building an amazing business. Their work ethic is just ridiculous. Chris also has a job as well, so he does that in amongst this. You know, Sarah runs the store and runs the marketing. They're like, you know, can't speak more highly of these 2 guys. So exactly the type of people that we want to work with, you know. So again, like we fix their website, we fix other things for them, we help them with their marketing, we've helped them to understand how to be really good e-com CEOs, and Chris and Sarah have just taken that information and just, you know, run with it and become exceptional. So same with these guys, Narelle and Landon. So these guys.
Do you want me to save your voice here, Paul? Do you want me to do this bit? Just save your voice for a bit. You good? All right.
Yeah, all good. So I feel like I've been drinking whiskey or something for like 4 months, and I don't even drink. So all I drink is this rubbish. So energy drinks. So these guys live in a bus basically, travel around. They run an off-grid business. So if you've ever thought about getting out of the city and going and living in the middle of nowhere with solar power, you know, powering your life, these are the guys that you go speak to. So again, I met Landon. He was having a really hard time at the time that I met him. And he's like, I need some help, dude. I'm like, yeah, sure. I got you. No worries. I think they were doing 15, 20 grand or something. Last November, I think they did like 250K or something. So 7-figure business now. Obviously, we still have challenges. Everybody has challenges in ecom. If you don't have challenges in ecom, you're not trying hard enough. But now new website, new everything. Basically, got a team, does a lot of the stuff. Landon's a superstar. He's actually a fully qualified Sparky as well. He's a very unique character. We love him to bits because he's got such a unique vibe about him. But again, great people, selling good products, solving a big problem. Um, so Chris, you can talk about this bit.
Yeah, no worries. Look, guys, unhidden agenda, obviously, like we get everyone on here and we try to do like a solid 60 to 90 minutes of just giving all the information that we can in that short amount of time. But we are time constrained, and it's, no surprise. We want to be able to work with as many people who have really awesome goals as we can. So you're going to get a lot of value out of this, that we promise. But one thing I just want to get your permission on is at the end of this call, after we've given you all the good stuff, we're going to give you the opportunity to potentially connect with us and see how you could potentially work with us moving forward. So just want to get everyone's permission here. Just drop a yes if you're okay with us, sharing that with you at the end of this call.
Chris, I might even give away
Thanks, Justin.
one of our store converter kits at the end of this.
Yeah, Corinne. Yeah, awesome. Renee, awesome. Yeah, Ashley. Give away everything. Why not? Rhonda, Dale, awesome. Thank you, guys. And if it's a no, by the way, you're not forced to be here, obviously. If any time you want to leave, you know when the exit button is. So let's jump into it. Go. I think we got one more of these. Oh, yeah, quickly, guys. This is just to help us when we give you feedback, understand kind of what level you're at the moment. Don't feel like there's any wrong answers here. We've kind of broken it down into 4 different levels here. So just take note if you're a startup, setup, grow up, or scale up phase. Like we said before, the stuff we're going to teach is going to be useful for everyone here. Just will have to be applied at slightly different levels when we do give that feedback. So if you're comfortable with it, share it down in the chat. So when we do speak with you, we know exactly where you're at. Go ahead. One last.
Just quickly, shout out to Dan. It's his birthday today. So if he's watching this or anyone sees this, or if you just go search Dan Facey on Facebook, send him a happy birthday, and then I'm sure he'll love getting a random happy birthday from 25 people that he's never met before. So go nuts. He'll be like, why did this happen for? So there you go.
All good. These are another awesome couple who they started working with us, sometime last year. I can't remember at this point, but a lovely couple who I believe Renee, she's actually a chef and she makes these sauces, amazing steak sauces. They make these awesome sauces and they were selling them at just markets, pop-up markets, doing just under 10K a month. And they knew the product was awesome because people love it. They can't get enough of it. But they knew they could reach a further audience that you can't really do at markets. And they knew online was the way, just didn't know how to do it. They came into contact with us and we tackled this in exactly how we're about to show you in this presentation. Is exactly what we did for these guys. We tackled the website, their brand messaging, and then their digital strategy, which means we fixed up the website to make sure it converts well. We gave them brand messaging that was very clear and stood out from any competition because they're not Heinz. And then lastly, we figured out, okay, now how do we pump ads into this to get the traffic to the website that we know is going to convert? And then within, I think it was about 3 months, you can see the graph here. I mean, you can just have a look at yourself. It was a 5 minute, yeah.
This is wrong.
It's not even recent, but
I looked at their data yesterday. They're pushing over 100K a month now between online and offline. So they do wholesale as well. So they're building like a massive network of butchers that sell their stuff. So purely online now, they're over 50K a month, and then they've got the wholesale stuff as well. So should probably update that, Chris.
So Anthony wins the prize. He's just invited about 25 people into the group. So if you give him something away, Anthony's on top. If anyone wants to catch up, you've got about 30 people to invite to catch him.
So if you do win, by the way, you win my $2,000 Shopify store converter kit, which gets you 8 weeks access to our community. So if anyone wants to try and get that as well, you've got half an hour to beat him. So if not, let's go. See how we go. All right, continue on.
I think we got one more. Yeah, this is Will. Will's a funny one. He likes to be a little bit more silent. He came in just from scratch being like, I really want to get into Shopify and e-commerce. I know it's what I want to do. He's just passionate about it. He had this interesting product idea already, this little capybara that lights up and then also fans. It's like a weird mix, but he created Cappy Cool. Go check him out. But he just came to every single one of our calls, listened to every single thing that we told him, and he implemented it. He's like one of our star people in our community. And he managed to go from just I think he did like $500 to $1,000 a month, like before us, just very much starting into, I think he almost clocked a 50K month, like 2 months later after joining. And it's pretty crazy growth. And it's as simple as he just followed the same strategies that we did with Dan, Chris, Landon, and that we're going to go through as well. So yeah, guys, the stuff works. We're doing it every day. And we'll jump into that a little bit now.
There we go. All right, cool. So this is the beautiful triangle that we're going to talk about tonight. So this is called the more orders model. So basically how the more orders model is, there's 3 main parts to how you build an e-commerce business, right? Sorry, I'll start again. There's 3 main parts that you need to nail before you kind of start marketing your business. Now, basically what they are is you need to build a compelling brand story. So that basically means, how do I talk about my brand? How do I talk about my products? How do I convey that message to my customers so that when they land on your website, they're like, I'm in the right place. They're speaking to me. I am very motivated to purchase, and I'm not going to go look at a competitor or whatever, because I'm like, the story that they're telling about their brand and about the products, I'm like, I feel it deep, so I'm like, great, that's the first part. Second part of that is you want to make sure that you've actually got a store that converts. So I was talking to someone today and they said, I worked with an agency and I spent 20 grand on my Shopify website. And I looked at their site, like, it's pretty terrible, right? And it's unfortunate that there's a lot of agencies out there that build, first and foremost, probably 3 types of agencies. There's the type of agency out there that builds websites and they're just pieces of rubbish. Then there's Shopify agencies that actually build websites that look beautiful. And then there's Shopify agencies who build websites that have conversion elements. Now, it's very rare for any of those 3 type of agencies to exist and to be actually able to do all of that. So what we specialize in is actually building beautiful websites that have all of the conversion elements inside of them, so that when someone comes to your website, they will go to your homepage, your collection page, your product page, or wherever, and all of the elements that should be on all of those pages enable your website to convert way better than all of the other websites sitting out there on the internet, and especially your competitors, right? So that's 2 things that are super important. Off the back of that is the third part of this is like, what does a digital strategy look like? So the last thing you want to do is send a whole bunch of people to your website and it doesn't have the conversion elements, or a whole bunch of people to your website and it doesn't tell a good brand story. So we also help you nail your actual digital strategy and your financial strategy. So you go, hey, once you've nailed your brand strategy, go and say these things on Google, or go and say these things on Meta, or go and say these things in your email or your organic, send the traffic to your website. And I'm sure we can all guess what's going to happen. You're going to sell more stuff, right? I often use the dating analogy, or when you're going out, you're trying to find a partner. And I was trying to explain it to a guy today at my house, and he's like 65 years old and he's a blinds installer. And I said, dude, your website's crap, but your customer service is so good. He's like, oh, really? And he took it nicely. And he says, what do you mean? I said, well, remember when you went out and you're trying to find your lovely wife? I go, yeah. I said, you dress nice, right? He goes, yeah. I said, well, think of your website as you dressing really nicely, so it looks good. He goes, okay. And I said, and then when you're out there, you spoke good. He goes, kind of, I hope so. I said, okay, that's your brand strategy. I said, currently your website and your brand strategy doesn't exist until I meet you in person. He's like, oh, right, okay. I said, so you need to fix those 2 things before you go and spend lots of money to try and get people to your website. It's like a light bulb went off in his head, right? And I said, and that's why you've been married for 35 years, right? And you got 6 kids or whatever you got. He goes, yeah, I dress nice and I spoke good. I'm like, good, well, let's do the same thing to your website. So I was like, oh, great. So what we might do is we might actually do this for some of you guys on the call, and I'll break it down, and Chris M, who is our head of brand and our co-founder here, he can actually help me do some of this. But let's pick a brand and we'll jump in and get see what we can come up with here. So Chris, who do you want to do first?
A couple. Kareem's look nice. Safarial, Renee also got in there.
Drop the link so I don't have to scroll up to like not last Tuesday.
These ones, and anyone else who hasn't shared the website yet, drop it below, and we're going to get to some of these throughout the session.
Who's the Safarial's website, sir?
Kareem.
Okay.
Kareem, sorry, bad with names.
Well, let's have a look. So, Chris, jump in, obviously, we'll scroll up and down for a quick second and have a bit of a, that's an awesome photo. Jesus, that's cool.
Want to give us a bit of a
Nice.
background, Corinne, into the business and
Yeah, jump
yourself?
into it. What theme are you using, by the way?
Dawn, I think.
Dawn. I was gonna say it's Dawn. Yeah.
But I've changed it a lot. I did a lot of stuff on Canva.
Okay.
And then put it into the website.
Right.
I'm very new. I've only been open this month, so.
Do you own is it a retail store and online or just retail?
I just online.
Just online. Okay.
Yeah.
So talk to me about like your point of difference about why you're different from all the other fashion brands and stuff out there, other than it's a one-stop destination or it's a hand-picked. What is it? Like, what is the real difference between your brand and everyone else?
I think that's the problem. I don't think I am different yet. Because
Okay.
I've chosen a niche too that's just so saturated.
Yeah.
But it's what I want to do. It's what I'm interested in. It's what I'm passionate about.
What's your background, Corinne? Like, did you come from the fashion industry, a designer? Like,
No, not at all.
Why this niche?
I'm a medical typist. And I've been doing it for close to 30 years now, and I'm just so over it. And I just wanted something too that would give me the flexibility to be with my kids. I've got a 7-year-old and an 11-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I wanted something that was mine.
And but are you passionate about this kind of fashion?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, everything I've chosen, which is a lot of people have said you can't choose things that only you would choose, but I've put stuff in, like chosen things that I would personally wear.
That's absolutely a good idea. You should start an ecom business around a problem that you've got or a passion that you've got. Like most people get into ecom, and people here with lots of money go into certain e-commerce niches, and they'll go into fashion because they know that the market is massive and they don't care, couldn't give a shit about fashion, but they're like, I'll make millions, you know. But for people that don't have that luxury and they're going into an industry like this, like yourself potentially, you go, I just want to do it because I want to have some fun, then that's great. Right. So I think first and foremost, and I'll just get started and Chris can let rip as we go, but we need to get clearer on the type of person, obviously females, but the type of ideal client that would buy from you, right? Because you want to build a community around this brand. So when a certain type of lady at a certain type of age and a certain type of income and a certain type of hobbies and blah, 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 you want to go, that's, you're really clear on who that is, right? And Chris will touch on it again further, but because then that type of person comes to your website and then I'm like, I'm in the right place. So for example, I'm going to go here. So like, this is a brand that I work with and these guys crush it, and Phil and Chloe are awesome. Some of you guys may have heard of Narwhal before. I mean, they sell ladies underwear, right? You know, and some men wear it as well. So whatever goes these days, but you go there and you're like, okay, like a certain, even as you read the words and so forth, you're like, it's a certain type of lady that would want to wear this brand, you know, and these brands are doing millions a month, right? So you go, clearly, it's not the kind of stuff you buy at Target or Kmart or blah, 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 blah. You know, it's like, it's a really, you know, what's the word I'm looking for, Chris? Like, you know, it's a very confident,
very distinct,
you know, it's very distinct.
Buyer.
Yeah. So the reason I'm showing that is because we've got to figure out who is that for you, you know, like when I talk about the e-commerce circle, the first thing that I say to everybody is I've done heaps of work in big corporate and I've worked with hundreds of millions of dollar brands. I don't do that anymore. Now I work with family founded e-commerce business owners because I help them build e-commerce businesses around their kids and hubby and blah, 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 and their wives and stuff, right? So when people go to my website, they're like, oh, I'm in the right place. He's a dad, so am I, blah, blah. He's got kids, so do I. He's got a dog, so do I. And they instantly relate to who I am, right? So, I mean, at the moment, there's a lot of AI going on, I think, in that banner and more AI. And I don't imagine many AI robots are going to you are trying to buy clothes. So it's probably got to change that. So you want to add to that, Chris, before I talk about like some conversion rate element kind of stuff as well?
Yeah. So, I mean, we talk about Nala, and there's two aspects that they do really well that kind of cements why they do so well. Paul mentioned one of them, which is they're very clear on who the audience is, and you can see from all of the imagery that is the person who's featured on the website, and that's who they go after. But then secondly, the product is amazing, and everyone that wears it is like, this is the most comfortable thing I've ever worn. Now, these bras, there's no underwire, they fit well, they're super soft. So the product is amazing, and they're very clear on who it's for. So when they put those two things together, it just goes gangbusters. They get virality, they get repeat purchase. So particularly for fashion, those two things are so important, because now that buyer knows, okay, this is for me and it's going to be exactly what I need. It's going to feel a certain way. So when you're trying to sell clothes, who buys this? Is it younger women, older women, women looking for a specific style? Is it all kind of bold, vibrant color palettes? That's the thing. Or is it muted undertones? Or is it high-end fashion for a cheaper price? Or is it custom one-offs? Is it because we've said this on multiple of these calls, because a lot of people go into fashion candles industries that are very saturated. Going into those types of industries, you really need to kind of dig out a specific thing within. You need to go kind of quite narrow in those industries and find a little corner that you can dominate in, because trying to just go and rank for women's pants is going to cost you a fortune to get it. So you need to get really clear on what type of woman, what type of person, as Paul, like, where does she live? Why does she shop? What problem is she trying to solve? Why does she need to buy this over Kmart, Target, Zara, all the other options? And then we want to see her in the website visually, and then the language wants to speak her language as well. Right, so if she's for example, if you're targeting a Gen Z, the language will be very, very different to a boomer, right? Very different people, very different language, very different, attracted to very different psychology. They buy for different reasons. So all of that stuff really needs to get considered, particularly because you're going into something that's quite already a saturated market. So like, do you have any kind of conception around what that is?
No, I think I'm more confused now than when I started.
All right, so quick exercise for you at the end of the call. You've got to go and like draw a stick figure of a lady, and then around a lady, you describe her. What are her hobbies? How old is she? Where does she shop? What does her family look like? What size would she probably be? You know, how much money would she spend? There's a whole exercise that you could do around that. Chris actually has a super cheap course that everyone can buy called his brand communication course. So I'll just, whilst we look at this in the background, go here, check out that, go check out this thing. It's like $150. Like, it's a bargain. Go grab that. But coming back to this, so that's the first thing that you need a lot of help in. The second thing is, when it comes to actually building a website that converts, there's a way that you build a homepage, right? So you have the heading up the top, you have the a H1 on here, which is the heading 1 text. Then you have a heading 2. Then as we start to get down into this section, we have what we call trust icons and benefit icons and kind of stuff like this. And the reason we have that, once you've got it, is because people start going, oh, made in Australia, love it or return it, free exchanges, organic clothing, tick, tick, tick. So as they're going down the website, they're going tick, 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 yes, 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 yes. And then you come down here, collections and da, 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 da. So you're probably a perfect candidate to have a look at our store converter kit, because you kind of know your way around Shopify. But I'll say this by now, Dawn is probably the worst thing that you could start with. But unfortunately, everybody starts with Dawn or Turbo or they're all crap. Don't buy the top themes in Shopify. They're shit. So, and it's the same when I go to like a collection page for you. So let's just pick a collection page here. And I'll just rip into it quickly. Obviously, you don't have reviews, so you can't do reviews, you can't, you add the cart button is the wrong color. It should be a contrasting color, so that they're going to, there's no information about shipping. Lady doesn't even have a face in the photo. So you got to have face, in fashion. This is a pro tip. Everybody needs to look absolutely miserable in fashion. That converts better than people who smile. Basic things like the images are on the wrong side and so forth. But like in our converter kit, it fixes all that. There's lots of other little things in here, such as you don't have what we call breadcrumbs. So from a search engine optimization perspective, it won't be able to navigate around your site very well. I'm talking about Google here. So you'll have to fix that. there's no information about shipping as well. So it's like, hey, in stock, ships today, blah, 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 like all these kind of basic things. So
Yeah.
as I was talking about at the start, there's about 80 things that go on a product page and another 80 things that should go on a collection page and another 200 things that should go on a homepage. And because people don't have them on there, like I mentioned before, people come to that page and they're not going to ever convert as good as they can, right? So whatever you do, don't spend any money on paid ads or anything with the site at the moment. You got to nail the site and you got to get all those things that we recommend on there, right? So what I reckon I do for you quickly is I think the first thing, honestly, if I was you, sometimes I try and talk people out of doing fashion, right? Because it is hard unless you have a marketing background, unless you have some like your sorry, I'm gonna draw something on the screen in a second, but unless you have a really strong marketing background or you're super excited to get on camera and be the face of your brand and really be out there in front, I'm like, there's usually a better thing that you could be focusing on. Right. So it's better to
that's why I asked you that question up front, Corey. Like, why did you choose fashion? There's a lot of, as Paul's saying, if you've got that background in it and you could talk about it underwater, or you are the designer and it's your clothes and you've designed them for a specific reason, that's going to be much easier for you to run. But having said that, you've obviously chosen this for a reason. So along with the exercise where Paul said, draw the stick figure and put who's that person, I would also add to that, like, why did you choose this business and why did you choose all the clothes that you've put on there? Because your story will map to your ideal customer's story.
Yeah.
Because she'll come along and go, oh yeah, I like things that fit a certain way, or I hate this, and she hates that too, and that's why she stocks these types of clothes because they're looser or they fit better or they're whatever that thing is. So I would include all of those personal aspects as well, because there's likely to be little things in that connect you with the type of person who's going to buy from you.
I'll do a really simple plan for you because you don't need a really complicated one at the moment. First thing, and I'd be like, over the next, like 2 months or something, it'd just be fix the website, right? So whether you try and figure it out on your own or you get like our converter kit or you go, guys, let's build me a website. People go, there's multiple options that you could do this. That's the first thing. Actually, let's pivot this. First thing that I would actually do is I'll backtrack a second. For you, it's going to be a bit different. I would actually do your brand strategy first. So that's like go through Chris's brand course. You don't need to do a one-on-one thing with Chris. Like some brands do one-to-one sessions with us and it takes them a whole month to do and he helps them do the whole process and it's expensive, but it's amazing, right? You're quite a new brand. You don't need to do that. But if you go through his brand course, like I said, it's $150. It's a bargain. It's taking him, how long have you been doing brand stuff for, Chris? Since you're 7 or something, right? So you get
At least
$150 and he's spent his life trying to figure out how to be good at this stuff. He's still a pretty ordinary at it, but he's like getting better. But watch that though. So nail these 2 things. And then what happens is you get all the really great copy and all the fancy words and all the great messaging and everything in this thing. And then when you build your website and you got like our high converter kit, in the high converter kit, it'll say, hey, you've got a H1 tag on your homepage. And a H1 tag is your new slogan or phrase or whatever it is. So we go, whatever you come up with from your brand strategy, put that there. And then and then the next bit under that, there will be another piece in that. You go, put that there. And then we scroll down a bit further and there's a big slab of text. You go, put that there. So when people land on your website, now they go, I'm in the right spot. I love her. She's great. She's got great products. I'm in the right, now I'm ready to buy. So you know how to talk about your brand and you've got a website that converts. Then once you've done that, you just got to get focused on like, what products am I selling? Like by this point, you should have a nice website. You should have a good strategy. And away you go, right? Then you'd come back and you go, oh, well, maybe I'll start running some meta ads. All right. So super easy. Start building out a meta ads campaign. Many ways you can do that. We have a meta ads course. There's one for $150. 2, we've got a team who run meta ads. 3, we've got the community. We can coach people. Whichever way people want to do it, you come along and you go, cool, show me how to do it. So you go make your creative, you do the ad, you post the ad, you go, let's spend $25 a day, $25,000 a day, whatever you want to spend, happy days, right? So for you, I would focus on these things first and foremost, easy. And this is very similar, these two, that what I recommend for every single brand I work with first. And it doesn't matter whether you're doing, like when I met Nala, they were doing say 100 grand, now they're doing millions a month, you know, but I'm like, hey, I did like what I call, we didn't build their whole website or anything, but I run an audit through Phil's website and I'm like, man, I found 25 things missing from your product page and 15 things missing from your collection page and 40 things missing from your homepage. Go and add them, right? So, and because they do stuff like that, makes such a monstrous difference. And shout out to Phil and his partner, but these guys are exceptionally good at writing a good brand strategy anyway on their own, right? So same thing that I'm telling you to do is the same thing they did when they started, you know? So, cool. I hope that's been good. We might do this for someone else now.
Yeah, thank you.
Who's up next? I feel like we should do something for Anthony. He's recommended 400 people or something, hasn't he?
I think he's invited everyone he's ever met in his whole life.
Really?
I went through my
done.
friends list on Facebook, so
Has anybody else added any? You got to add some people now, Corinne, after I just gave you the secret wisdom. I'll be disappointed if you don't. Nah, all good. Let's go.
Cool.
Who are we doing next, Chris?
Piyush had a nice website, voguedecor.com.au. Oh, just .au, I think. voguedecor.au.
You've sat with me and done so many of these things. I should get you to try and do this.
Good try.
Go on. Let's go.
People come for the Paul show, though, not the Chris show. Yeah.
Okay. This is nice.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
So you
Do
want
we
to say
start
when you
Piyush
go
around?
out?
Yep,
Yeah, you're around.
Oh, there he
Yeah.
is.
Hey, man. How
Awesome.
are you?
I'm doing good.
This
Just
is what I
started the
mean when you
website two
go out.
weeks 2 weeks back. That's about it.
You started 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I got some orders, 13, 14 orders, one return. So it's all drop shipping. We're doing
Did
drop
you do
shipping.
this yourself?
No, I had someone to do it for me.
Oh, right. Okay. I was going to say, do you want a job? It's pretty nice. You've done an okay job. Let's look from a brand messaging point of view. So
Just wasting your headline with your brand name, but apart from that.
yeah, so don't do that. So the last thing you want to do, right? If you're running, this is premium products, you know, let's have a look for a second. Nice chair, nice pot, nice paintings, nice artwork. Like it's nice, right? You don't want to go, hey, as soon as you land on your website, 20% off. You wouldn't go out dating and go, hi, I'm Piyush, and I'm like, you know, 20% off me, and blah, blah, blah. You go, you're discounting yourself.
Just got out of a relationship and I'm really desperate for a new
Yeah, I'm really desperate for a partner. Like, I'm on the rebound. Nice to meet you. Like, nah, this doesn't sound good, you know? So you need to change that and you be like, what is your catchphrase? What is your slogan? What is that real? Okay, this is great. You know, this is terrible, my example, but you know, premium, like, you know, premium living lounge room furniture, like that you won't find anywhere else. Like that's still shithouse, but it's better than what it says at the moment, right?
Elevate your home with curated decor.
Oh yeah, ChatGPT.
That's the most ChatGPT line.
Yeah. Does it say anything on here about like what are you saying at the moment?
No, just the basic stuff. Nothing.
Your premiere, yeah. So as soon as anyone starts using the word, if like premiere, destination, exquisite, stylish, it's like cross. No one reads that. Their brain just goes, yeah, ChatGPT. So
Right.
curated, yeah, ChatGPT on overdose. So,
Yep.
you know, if you go to, for those of you that are into luxury homeware and stuff, like what's a massive brand in Australia? Like even if you go, I don't know, Freedom Furniture or something, that's also nice stuff, right?
Nick Scarlett.
Nick
Nick Scarl, yeah, we'll check that. You know, crafted for life. You go, oh shit, that sounds nice. You know, oh, okay. Maybe they've just rebounding as well. 50% off. Actually, you know why the big brands do this because they can, because they have millions of people going to their website. So they don't
run
care.
TV ads and radio ads, and they've been around for 50 years, and everyone knows them already.
It's not like McDonald's needs a brand message on their website at this point in time because you go there and buying cheap and nasty food that kills me. You know what I mean? And you go, it is. That's what the Golden Arches is, right? So, it's different for them. So, Nick Scarlett, it's going to be the same. It's probably not a good example. Actually, these guys is good. they're in a nice
Koala,
space in the
Koala
market.
could be interesting to look at.
Koala is a good brand, you know, free to feel home. I don't know about you, but for me, I'm just like, that sounds nice. And it's 4 words. And then I scroll down here and I'm like, you know, more seats in an instant, whatever that means, nothing, but beautifully organized. You can see how they've got certain words that they're using, right? It feels, you know, very classy, very, you know, there's a feel about it. And then I'm using 4 words. We wanted to enrich the lives with timeless, well-made furniture, but couldn't find ones that didn't break the bank. You're like, who doesn't want that? No, most people don't have any money in them anymore because of, you know, everything's expensive as hell. But they still want nice things. So that's why this brand is killing it, because they sell really good stuff that's I think it's cheap. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's well priced. $2,000 for a beautiful table like that's not much. So you can see where I'm kind of going with what they're doing versus you're like, welcome to my website.
Yeah. And what they're doing well there as well is they're using natural language, which this can be a thing that we as brand owners and marketers can do. We over marketize the words and make them curated and par excellence and premier, where the way that described is, hey, we were trying to do this thing, so we made this thing, and anyone can read it and go, oh, I get what they're saying. So don't feel, I mean, it's for the types of brands that are on this call. It's often better to use natural language and just explain what the thing is and what the benefit is in a really natural way, rather than trying to be too kind of marketing or advertising about it. As Paul was saying, the bigger brands can get away with that, and having you come to a website and it just has a beautiful image and says, just do it. But they've got so many other mechanisms to build their brand. Whereas people don't know you, they don't know what you do, they don't know why is this ottoman, why should I buy from you versus Freedom Furniture or IKEA or etc etc etc. So you really need to paint that picture very quickly, and that heading block, the headline and the subheadline, that's the place where you need to grab that attention, set some positioning, show them the uniqueness, show them that this is for them and it's going to help them solve a specific problem in a specific way.
All right, let's say look at some conversion rate stuff. So you got some breadcrumbs, you got some reviews, you've got some clearly fake reviews. Prices, that's right. Add the cart button doesn't change state when I mouse over it, so you need to change that so something happens when you put your mouse over it. You got lots of photos here. Shipping information, you can't see it, so you need to move it up so you can actually see it, because people are going to scroll and they're going to miss it. So it should say like in stock, ships today, da da da. So it doesn't say anything about how long it takes to ship. One sold in the last 18 people viewing the product. This stuff is great. It's just in the wrong location. Put it up the top, up there. What theme are you using?
I don't know, sorry. It's done by a developer, so yeah.
Yeah, all good. Whatever. Yeah. I mean, you're doing a lot right. Never use red on a premium website, right? You put that on like bloody Kmart website. So what do people do? This red and orange and shit. Unless you're Amazon or Kogan, don't use it. It converts terribly. And you don't really need to do that anyway. And when you do discounts, you don't do percentages, you just do how much the number is. So the number converts better than a percentage, according to Stanford or something that I read a while ago. Right. I would move this too. Move the short description up under here, and your H1 tag is taking up way too much of the space as well. So what else have we got in here? It's nice, but it's kind of, you know, it's like all the other drop shipping businesses that sell, the 900 of you that sell this same chair. So it is really, really important that you nail like what's going on the homepage before they get to your collection page. If we come back to your collection page for a second, make sure you go and put short descriptions on all of them as well, meta descriptions.
Yep.
And page descriptions, because you need that. And then you're wasting a ton of space here. Like, I've got this much wasted space before I see a product. Right. So take it out wide like that. Put more products on the page for one. And then when I mouse over the products, and this is, again, I'm just giving you some of the things, not all of the things. Why can't I clear my screen? There we go. As you mouse over, that's okay. You definitely get rid of the red. There's no reviews on this page as well. There should be. Like, if you want to have social proof, you know, hey, we sold heaps of these. Basic thing that's wrong with this, Chris. What's the basic thing that's wrong with this homepage?
There's
So I come
no
on here and
add to cart button.
there's
Or
no
buy.
add to cart button,
Got it.
right? So you got to go all the way into the product page to be able to buy the thing. So silly whoever did this. Filters, this is done pretty lazy the way that's done. There is no like, and the fact that it's sticky, so that whole menu is sticky. I have to scroll all the way to the bottom there before I get to there. And it also doesn't have color filters. So whoever built this isn't using search and discovery feature properly, because it's not using the data properly. Because no one's going to filter by that because they're filtering using this mechanism, which is already there. You want to be able to come over in here and go filter by leather, filter by green, filter by price, filter by brand, those things, right? So
you're already in a collection, so you're not filtering inside of this currently isn't filtering inside of the collection. It's taking you to other collections.
Yeah.
So it's not
Nobody
actually a
gets this
filter.
right. Very few people get this right. Like I would encourage everybody. So this is something I won't tell you is like go to YouTube and go and search how search and discovery works for Shopify, and it's part of Shopify. I've got a whole document that I can share with you guys and teach you how to do it properly. But again, it's free. Like I'll give you that for nothing. But use it properly. Game changer. What else is going on
Dale's
here?
just asked which is the best app for reviews. I'm pretty sure it's Judge Me, right? I just
Judge Me.
check
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's good. Don't use anything else. All right. I don't need to do exactly what I said to Corinne. It's the same for you, mate. Like fix your brand messaging is number one. So I want to be clear too. If you guys don't want to waste all of your life trying to do a brand message yourself, like Chris offers us, we do that as a service. He'll do it. He'll train you how he does it. Takes you like 4 weeks and it'll be perfect. And then why this is a great idea is because then you can all go, you all know how to do it for all of your brands and all of your life forever, right? So it is a really good skill to learn how to do. So we'll talk about that. Chris can talk about how that works. Other than that, I probably won't do a fast path plan for you because it's going to be fix that, fix this, run ads, basically.
Yeah.
Let's jump onto another one. So is it Adelia Fine Foods?
Amelia with Adelia.
Yum. Let's have a look. What is it? Let's go here.
Is Amelia around? Oh, yeah, there you
Yes.
are.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yes, good, thank you.
Awesome. Give us a little bit of a
I'm getting
background.
confused. No, it's Amelia and Adelia. Is it? Is that right? Just to confuse us.
Yeah, that's right. So it's the business is my husband Adam and I, so we merged our names together to come up with
Oh,
it.
that's cute. Nice. Okay. Let's have a look here. All right. Granola. We work with a chocolate brand that crushes it, and we work with many food brands that crush it. Like, so I can see a lot of things going on here. You need to go and supply your granola to all the acai companies. All those guys that there's bloody 400 acai,
Yeah.
bikes on
We-
Uber.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a really strong wholesale business,
Yeah.
but our e-commerce has always struggled. So we've just
Yeah.
recently swapped over to Shopify. We had the two brands separate in the past. We had one on Squarespace and one on WordPress. And
Okay.
we just decided to merge them all in together.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, immediately, I mean, I can't see your menu bar, so that is a bit of an issue. Like, if people with visual issues go, "Where's the shop button? How do I get started?" Right? So that's an easy fix. Just put like a black bar behind that thing. Same thing again. No, there's not really a strong brand message, right? It's like, "Welcome to our brand." That's what it says,
Yeah.
So if I scroll down, it's the type of product. Okay, that's good that it says that. Gluten free, that is good. Is it from Ballerine Rocky Road? Is it because you're near a place called
Ballerine Peninsula?
Yeah, the Ballerine Peninsula. Yeah.
Yeah. So I reckon you need to start including stuff like did you say it's organic? No, it's gluten free. And I assume people, like I've heard of the name Ballerine Peninsula, like it's a nice part of the world, right?
Yeah.
But it goes straight into the products. And it's super product heavy. So for example, if we go to Dan and Regan's site, go to the homepage and we're like, chef crafted gourmet finishing sauces, you know, easy and delicious, loved by home, blah, blah. This is pretty basic, you know, but then we go down a bit further, you know, we've won awards, right? We start going into these things that I call like trust indicators, you know, so hey, it's a family owned business. We are, however big you are, you know, we've been around since 2005, you know, we have 40 staff, we're based in Australia, we use Australian ingredients, it's easy to use yourself, da 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 da. This is all the stuff that will come out of a really strong brand message for you. So this is exactly what you need, really.
Yeah.
Then as you can see, we start going into, you know, their best selling sources, though, like there's yours. It doesn't really, like, people want to go and buy what other people are buying. That's the first thing. So you land on someone's website. So if I landed on Corinne's website and I've heard about her and I'm like, oh, she's awesome, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, show me her best selling things. Same as I land on your website. I'm like, show me the best selling products. People's attention span is like shorter than goldfish these days. You want them to just be able to just come along and go, new flavors, add to cart. And there is no add to cart button. So that's why we want to fix that.
Yeah.
And then other products, you know, we want to, like, again, you're perfect also example for our high converter kit, because you've got all the products on your website, you've got photos, you've got a brand message, you've got everything. It's just all in the wrong order at the moment.
Yeah.
So exactly what's happening for you is what I would expect. People come to the website and it just doesn't convert. Like, you can't buy from this page. I go to this page and there's, you know, you've got reviews. That's good. Using meta fields here is great. Short description is the wrong location. Add the cart button is the wrong color. You know, no breadcrumbs on the page. This is, what is this? That's a H1. You don't have a H2. Images aren't changing as I mouse over them. There's no people eating the product in the photos, right? So, and there's a lot more missing on here. No shipping information, no anything information, right? So, food brands need a lot of stuff on their product pages to convert. So this is a very minimalistic kind of product page at the moment. There's a lot you could add there. Even if we go into like breakfast, so granola, yeah, so like no search, no descriptions or anything on the page. It's just kind of like, you know, you've gone to Woolies and you go, show me the granola. They can do that because they've got millions of people come to their website, but yours is like, why should you buy a granola, right? So if you go to these guys' site and you go, well, go to the Shopify source, what do I do? And you start reading and you're like, oh, okay, righto, that sounds great. Or you go to the other pages, Diane source, that sounds great. You go, I want to check out, right? So lots of room, you know, lots of room for improvement, but you're doing a lot right as well. I think it's just the site is definitely letting you down. And I haven't looked at it on mobile, obviously. I reckon we'll do a plan for you though, because that'll be good. So give me a second. I'll try and bring this up again.
Yep, sure.
Do you have anything you want to add to that, Chris or Chris?
Yeah, again, I was going to talk more around the kind of SEO implications of some of those collection and product titles. Like there's going to be very, 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 very difficult for you to rank a granola keyword collection.
Never rank for that.
Yeah, for you to rank Bellarine Peninsula granola, right? If that was a thing that people were looking for. So if you're going for like big keywords like granola, muesli, chocolate bar, they're very, very competitive. So then you want to name your collections after keywords that you can go after that aren't as competitive, but that also describe what the product is. And there's a whole SEO thing around that, but yeah, thinking around product name, but particularly those collections, because collections is a thing that will rank organically if you can get those keywords into the name of the collections.
Okay.
All right. I wouldn't normally do this, but let's just sort of given we started on it. So let's have a look. This is an awesome tool called SEMrush. So this is the kind of stuff that we teach daily inside the circle, teach you how to use this so you know what to do. But what I've done, I've chucked in your URL here. I'm looking at what your site ranks for at the moment, and I'm looking what it ranks for in the top like 8 positions, right? So let's do from 2 to 8 or 2 to 10. So what that means is show me all the keywords that rank in Google that send traffic to your website. So for example, gluten-free pancake mix, you're number 5 in all of Australia. And you double that number, that means that 700 people a month are likely potentially clicking that and going to your website, right? Keto granola, again, same thing. You double that number, so it's like 1,400 people a month are clicking that and going to your website. Brownie packet, all of these things. So good news is this is sensational that you're ranking for that. Like, that's amazing. Bad thing is that, and this is why I push this as hard as I do, is because you've got all of these people, right? Is any maths geniuses on the call that can want to add this number up? But like, there is a thing here, right, that says somewhere, I don't know where it says it, but there's thousands of people there.
Shit
Just
tons,
in
I
that.
think, is the
What you got?
official calculation.
What is it?
I said shit tons is the official
Shit
number.
tons is the technical. Yeah. So shit tons of people that are coming to your website every month and not converting.
Yeah.
Because these pages aren't built to convert properly. Why that's is such a big deal, because you're like, let's assume your average order value is 25 or $30 or something. What is your average order value?
Probably more like 50 to 60.
$60.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how to use the calculation of shit ton, but let's assume that you made like 500 sales just from that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, could have made $30,000 from all those people. So the question that I ask people on this call all the time is, let's assume that, you know, shit tons, and we subtracted a lot, converted into 500 people times $60. You got to go, how long do I want to lose $30,000 a month for by having the site in the state it's in? Even if it only half of them converted, you're still at $15,000 a month in revenue, and you're still at $15,000 worth of more people that now have your product that are buying it offline and other places as well, right? So that's why this stuff is so important. Like, I work with $1 million brands that have a conversion rate of 2%, and I go, double your conversion rate. Your revenue has now gone from $2 million a year to $5 million a year or $4 million a year just by fixing your website. And I go, oh shit, no one's told me this before. You know, like, super, super important to you.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to this thing. And I don't know how I'm still talking, but anyway, thanks for your patience. My voice is still alive. I would do. Are you doing any ads or anything at the moment? Meta ads,
Not at the
Google ads?
moment. No, we're exactly how you described it at the start. We've tried so many different agencies and just have never.
Yeah.
It's never worked for us.
Did they run ads to this website?
No, not through this one. This one has only been live since about September.
2 weeks or something?
Pardon?
To your Wix website or to your other website, WordPress?
WordPress website.
Yeah, that's probably even worse, unfortunately. Like, at least you've tried it. Like, you just, you know, put it in the notch in the belt. You're like, I learned some stuff. I wasted some money. Like, now you know what to do, right? So number one, absolutely, I'm gonna do red, because you've got, like, I imagine you're a pretty sizable business that's doing okay offline, right? So you go, all right, cool, fix it. Let's fix the website. That's like code red. Number two, fix the brand messaging strategy. Brand, I will change it to BM. Have to fix those two things, like, absolutely critical. So because you've already got lots of traffic coming to your website, so just convert more of it, right? Once you get that going, you just use the exact same strategy that we're using for boutique sources. Meta ads, basically. All they do is meta ads, those guys. That's it. You know, once you're ready, you can do Google ads as well. Easy, right? Just depends on your revenue goals. You're like, if I want to get to 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand a month, then you got to go, okay, we need 1 or 2 more mechanisms, which mechanism is just a sales channel, you know, or media channel, and go, cool, that's how I pour fire on this thing, right? So for you, over the next, like, you know, 6 months, do that. For you, over the next, like, 2 months, do this. We'll help you fix that properly. So you can probably fix things on this website, but just nail the brand strategy, and then the way we go. Even for someone, like, did you do this yourself, or someone helped you do it?
Someone helped us build it, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's not terrible. There's, like, just need to add things that are missing.
Yeah.
So for you, you'd be a perfect candidate. Like, join our e-commerce circle, go to the coaching calls, go what's missing, add the what's missing stuff, away you go, happy days. And then nail your brand messaging. So, oh, good. All right, I hope that's helped. Maybe jump on a call with Chris B, and he'll tell you how we can assist you with this. But we've done this for many brands like yours, so easy.
Okay, thank you.
No worries, you're welcome. What was the? How are we going for time, Chris? We're probably running out. Do you want to do one more? Does anyone?
Yeah, we could get one more in there.
You do it. We do it. You're doing it.
You want me to do it? Yeah.
I want you to go just to like kill the vibe.
I won't kill any vibes. Let's go. Who was first? I don't want to miss out. I think Renee, Jed, and Ginger.
Yeah, Jed and Ginger was first up.
Let's have a look. Could you still pull it up for me, Paul? Jed and Ginger. Oh, I'll just copy and paste it. Renee, are you still around with us?
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you for being patient.
Whenever you're ready, give me the
Here
link.
it is. Yep. Do you want to give us a bit of a background onto the business and what's going on with the website?
I've been in business for about 10, 11 years. I predominantly do markets.
Yep.
When COVID hit, I did a website really quickly. I'm not really happy with my website, but I've got no idea on websites. So yeah. Sometimes I get lots of people to it, but still no one buying. I do get the occasional sale, but yeah.
Just based off what we've been going through for the rest of the the previous bit of the workshop, you could probably see some things immediately yourself now that might jump out to you on what we would be recommending to change here. Firstly, like Paul mentioned, well, it's good, first of all, that you're already doing this with markets. That's already great because people like the product in person. And it's a very common thing that we find with people is that struggle between they know people love it in person, they buy it in person, but when you try and do it online, it just doesn't have that same feel. Renee isn't there to sell it for me, as you are in person. And that's what ends up happening. It doesn't have that same feeling when they get on here. It doesn't have the same sales system, and it just doesn't end up converting. So what Paul likes to say is the website should be your ultimate sales mechanism. It should be the thing that replaces you, right? So you don't have to sell it in person. So everything that you do at the market, it probably looks lovely when you set up. You're there speaking to the customers. They understand why you got a lot of products here, but why they're so good and why they're so different. And that's why it's successful in markets. And it's as simple as we need to do the same thing on the website. But of course, you've done this by yourself. Like you said, you whipped it together in COVID. Great job. It's already one step more than a lot of people go. But it's, for us here, it's as simple as probably just flicking through so many pages. I can't focus on anything. Just go back to the home page for us. Let's go there. I'll start when I look at websites, there's a few main things I'll look at. For example, here's the home page. Everyone's going to land on your home page. And if you say you're getting some traffic, that's awesome. When they land here, it's super. We miss out that entire experience of who are we, what do we do, and why are you in the right place right now? So what's going to end up happening is people are going to either leave the store. That's called you're going to have a high bounce rate potentially, or they might look through and you'll get some visitors on your product pages, but they just won't purchase. And it's simple as look. Do you fancy yourself much of a website developer?
Only if I have to.
Yeah.
I'm not, a lot of times I watch YouTube videos or Google things if I can't. Completely normal. Everyone's in the same kind of position. It's just there's obviously a lot of things. There's the branding that's missing here, and also just the conversion elements. I would say we've gone through the whole thing. It's going to be the same thing for you. You got traffic coming. We just got to make this website experience equal Renee at a market, have that same feel, the same because you got we usually say no candle products, no this, no that, but that's because people will just buy and sell random crap and they don't have a good feeling behind it. I can tell you've sold this at markets, you got a good feel. There's going to be something in there that you already know, and we just got to make that apparent in the website. So candles were my original thing, and then I've sort of expanded on everything else.
Awesome. I see hand poured. That means you make them yourself, I believe. Awesome. What about the other products you're doing here? Earrings.
They're all, most of them are all from Australian makers.
And is there one thing that sells the most at these markets?
To be honest, it depends what market I'm at. It really does. There's sometimes where I can only sell candles. There's sometimes where I can only sell my Jellystone products, but yeah, it's just bizarre. Yeah, it just depends which market. Yeah.
I think it's because there's confusion around what you do.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. I do feel there is. Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't typically go to an online store. Sorry, I'll start again. You typically go to an online store with the intent of achieving one outcome, right? So I go to Amelia's store and I'm like, cool, I'm trying to buy granola. I'm in the right place, and chocolate is kind of related to granola. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna check out, done. When they land on here, they're like, okay, I can put some candles in my caviar bags and buy some craft stuff as well. There's like, it's a bit disjointed. So I think there's like, we got to just tie it all in a bit more into its craft. Obviously, it's similar, related together, and that needs to come through on the homepage. I mean, the homepage is also looks like it's like a collection page or something. I've never seen it done like this before. It's kind of,
I think I'm using simple. I think I changed it to simple.
Yeah.
Not
So
long
the theme's
ago.
just doing something. I mean, you just need a like super basic, like our converter theme is fine for you, but it's just the flow process of it. Chris, can you do me a Chris Am, can you do me a favor and like drop in like Karina Newman's site or something? Or Bubba and Bear, yeah? Is that right?
Yeah.
So like I'll give you an example. So she bought the thing that I'm talking about, the 2K thing, right? So you go there and she's like, great, like nice things and this and this and this and this and beautiful product photos and shop our most popular stuff. And this is the stuff that she did when she did her brand message. Scroll down, bestsellers. So you feel like you're going on a journey, and you're actually going on a journey down the page. Right. So I won't go too much onto this one, but like she did this herself using our converter kit, like did a great job. So, but when I'm on your page, it's kind of, it feels like a collection page. So I would also
the brand playbook will help you kind of bring all of these things up to like, what's the thing at the top that ties them all together?
Yeah.
Is it handmade Australian crafts for people that love DIY?
Yeah.
Because there is kind of at the moment, it just looks like disparate kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And probably makes sense, like on your table at the market in that context, it makes sense. So it's, as Chris was saying, it's kind of pulling that back up to what's the thing at the top that ties all this together. Someone goes, oh yeah, that's what I'm, that type of person that wants to buy this type of stuff.
Yeah. When you go through this as well, and if you use our thing or you do your own thing, get rid of the purple background as well. Like purple, the only industry that purple actually converts well in is the adult toy industry. Right? There's a reason some ladies' toys are purple, and that's why most adult toy shops are all purple.
See,
blah, 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 blah. Right? So I've never seen this. Yeah.
I did a thing at the, I don't know, probably about September last year, and they told me to get rid of white and put something like purple.
Oh, right. Who was that? Don't go back there.
It was like a local business chamber thingy. They do, and I was like, okay, right. They're like, oh, it all fits in, and I'm like, right. So yeah.
Oh, what you said? They were over 50, did you say?
No, well, she was actually.
Yeah. There's a certain crowd that likes building e-commerce sites with the purple, and purple is associated with frustration. You guys connect the rest of that together, but don't use purple on an e-commerce website, right? Unless you're Spotlight or something. So anyway, on that high note, we'll continue on with the rest of these slides. I don't think I can top that. So let's go. Chris, you got a boot soon. You got to go whatever to do your mustache and stuff. Let's go. Why can't I present? Hang on. There we go. All right, cool. So get into the advertising component of this. I'm pretty honest, as you can see, I call how it is. So here's some people who have said some great things about us. Chris M will chuck a link into the comment section of other people who said nice things about us. Hopefully it has been helpful so far. Hopefully it's been very clear into showing you what you need to do. Two choices here, the orange one and the green one. Obviously there's not a purple one, but number one, you can keep doing it on your own, keep trying to figure it out, keep losing lots of money every single month. Hopefully no one wants to keep doing that. Number two, you can get some help from us to do this stuff. We have many ways that we can help you. We'll always try and give you the best thing for you and the best thing that works with your budget as well. I'm here to help people grow businesses that are safe, sustainable, profitable. Last thing I want to do is like, go, hey, spend lots of money and it doesn't work and you guys are miserable and you know, I only get one reputation. I've had a great reputation for a very long time. So, and that's stemmed off helping a lot of people. So, if you'd like our help with any of this, I think probably Amelia would definitely be one that you should probably have a chat with. The rest of you, I definitely reckon like check out the store converter kit that I've spoken about in there. So I will touch on that briefly. So basically what the store converter kit is, you guys have went and bought themes and stuff, right? And largely most themes are crap. So we start off with a theme and we add like 400 different things to a theme that enable a website to convert better. So that's what our converter kit is. And it's the same framework that we use on about 100 Shopify sites at the moment. You get that as part of this. Then you get Chris's brand communication course. So he teaches you how to do everything. You come out and you go, cool, great, I know how to do it. And you're amazing at brand messaging now. So then off the back of that as well, again, all these details are on that as well. And by the way, you can pay by PayPal and Afterpay, whatever you want to do. But you can also, what we don't want to happen is you start working on your website or you start working on your brand messaging or you start trying to have a crack yourself and you go, I'm stuck and I bought this thing and I don't know what to do. So what we do, we have a thing called the e-commerce circle and we have two programs. There's a really fast program where people come along, grow fast, spend considerable money to be part of that inner circle program. We also have our community program. Now, community program is like $400 a month. What we do though is for anybody who purchases the Shopify store converter kit, we give you 8 weeks access to our community for free as part of that. And there's like a dedicated channel in there. So as you're working on your brand messaging, as you're working on your website, you can go in there and there's a channel and our team are in there and there's 140 other people in there at the moment. And you go, hey, I need help. And people will help you. All right. So you're not on your own. The other cool thing about the community, for those of you that are at the low level, we do like 9 calls a week, right? We do an SEO call, a Google Ads call, a Meta Ads call, an email call, a brand call, a finance call. Like our finance coach was a coach at a $7 billion company. Our brand guy is the guy who came up with November. Like email marketing, they're all heavy hitter coaches, right? So someone's talking there. Hang on, I'll just mute them. So you guys can come along, join those calls, sit there, ask great questions, watch what everybody else is asking. And inside of, you know, that 8 weeks, you'll be like, oh my crap, I feel like I've learned 20 years of e-com knowledge in 8 weeks. And then at the end of the 8 weeks, if you love what you see, stay, right? Many people have come along, had a crack at this $2,000 deal. And I would say a good 60% of them have done a fantastic job. A couple of like, you know, I'm so busy with my job and so forth. Can you finish the site for me? So we just give them a different price and we go upgrade it and finish their site. And even those people are going, oh crap, should have done that at the start, right? So you can see that we're very happy to help you get started. Very happy to help you quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker, whatever works for you. But basically what I'm trying to do is build a safe space for e-commerce people to have really, really good knowledge from people who know what they're talking about. Not the crap that you read in YouTube and TikTok and blah, 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 blah. It's kids teaching you this stuff, right? It's not adults. So, and they're teaching you stuff that's going to disappear tomorrow. You know, like start a drop shipping business, sell furniture, blah, 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 blah. Like next month, like your business is dead. What's the point? You know, do it properly. So that's what we are all about. So that's why we built the converter kit, you know, because it's a really good starting point and it's kind of frames perfectly with what we're doing here. And then once you got a bit of runs on the board, so for example, a brand, Amelia, like yours, and I know this is sounding like a sales pitch, it may as well. But for a brand that's like established, a brand like that, and there's probably, you know, this recording will go out tomorrow to 8,000 people, and I'll get the questions, so I'm answering them now. They'll come along and go, can you just build my website? Can you just do my brand? And can you run my ads? Those people, we do all that for them as well. That's what our inner circle program is. So different pricing, obviously, way quicker, way more efficient. So that's basically how we help people inside of this as well. So I don't think I've missed anything. Chris, you want to add anything?
No, look, you pretty much covered everything. I don't want to confuse anyone here. So I've dropped the links there. If you want to check out the converter kit, learn a little bit more about it, the link's down below. have a read through to see, you know, pretty much just going to repeat everything Paul said, but also I've left the link there. If you just want to chat with us, because maybe you want to figure out which options are best for you and how we can help, by all means, guys, we open our calendar for a couple of days of the week just to have these kind of chats. So you have that link there. Just book any time that works for you, and we'll connect and deep dive a little bit. What we did today, we'll deep dive a little bit further with you personally for your website and your business, and see what the next best moves are, if you like.
What was I going to say as well? There's one other thing. Anthony wins a converter kit for inviting half of his family to the group. So I'll hook you up with that. That's good.
Thank you.
So I drop links as well for people who go, I just want to buy, like, we've got tons of little courses and stuff that you can buy too. So you can buy Chris's brand course, it's $150. There's a Crow course, there's a Meta Ads course. You know, they go for like 2 hours, blah, blah, blah. You can buy them, you know. The community program that I spoke about as well, you don't have to buy the converter kit to join that. You can just join our community. It's $100 a week. But when you think about it, you go, it's going to cost me $800 for, you know, for 2 months. And then if I spend an extra grand, I get a whole new buddy Shopify website. It kind of makes sense to buy that as well, right? And you get all the courses. So again, you know, best thing to do is just like chat to Chris, see what level you want help at. You know, we'll help you out, and we'll kind of get you guys all rocking and rolling. So yeah, I know. I guess, you know, thanks so much for hanging out with us, guys. Appreciate all of you. It's been good. Any questions or anything before I go? All good. All right, cool. I'm gonna have a rest. Thanks. I'll see you.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a great night.